I've never been much of a fisherman. But Oregon's rivers hold endless appeal. And one of the best ways to enjoy them is by wading in a few feet deep and casting a line into their chilly waters. This summer, I made a trip to Central Oregon to learn a bit about fly fishing along the Crooked River with friend, colleague, and avid angler Rosemarie Stein. I had only gone fly fishing once before, so I leaned pretty heavily on Rosie's expertise to see if she could help me catch anything besides bushes on the riverbank.
Aha, see, I've done my first catch the bush behind me, which is a notable step on the fly fishing journey.
Luckily for me, the Crooked River is an ideal spot to learn because of its easy access, relatively shallow water, and minimal tall trees on its immediate banks. Rosie says the best and most accessible fishing along the wild and scenic river is found in a stretch extending roughly 10 miles below the Bowman Dam. That stretch of water supports large trout populations and is open all year to fly fishers. To get there, I started my scenic drive from Portland the day before, passing through the high desert and the quaint city of Prineville, which is only a half hour from Poison Butte Campground, where I crashed for the night.
All right. Uh-oh. Essentials. I think I'm gonna go without the rain fly tonight because it is upper 90s or maybe even 100 right now. Crocs and socks. All right, how many breaths? I'm gonna guess 24, and I've blown this up a couple times. We're at 23.
What? And you said 24?
I said 24. Whew, I'm kind of lightheaded. It's a little too warm for enthusiastic sleeping pad inflating. Good. I'm gonna go to bed kind of early because we're waking up, hoping to meet Rosie here at 5:30 a.m. So early bedtime.
It wasn't long before it was time for dinner. I made a refreshing peach, mushroom, and goat cheese salad.
Like my goat cheese fingers?
Dug in,
Oh yeah.
and called it a night. It was still dark when I got up the next day.
I guess I have to eat more bread if you're gonna film me eating bread.
I grabbed a quick bite, brushed my teeth, and waited for Rosie to arrive.
Where's Rosie?
Good morning.
It was so good to see Rosie.
Good to see you.
So good to see you. Awesome.
We used to work together in the Oregonian newsroom, but I'd only seen her once since she moved to Bend last year. Rosie walked me through some of the basics.
There's not going to be a lot of weight on these because they just need to hit the water and float. As soon as it sinks, it's not attracting the fish.
And showed me how to set up my fly rod.
So this is your floating line.
Yeah.
We got everything situated. I pulled on my waders and boots, and we made the short walk down to the river.
All right, let's do it.
Let's
see
go.
the water.
Once we arrived, Rosie gave me a quick casting lesson.
Go back, quickly, give it a little hesitation. Ha! Boom, like a breath. Ha!
Okay.
Boom, and then come down. And then if you're planning on letting it go into the water, still cast like you weren't. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Like you feel like you're gonna back cast, go forward cast, and you know how you'll go right back for the second
Yeah.
round? Just do the same motion and then just stop. And it should float then into the water that way.
Okay.
There, that was good. See how that had hesitation?
And soon after, I had my first catch of the day. But it wasn't a fish.
Gah. Catching bushes again, Rosie.
Rosie reminded me to keep my casting angle between 10 and 2 to help avoid catching bushes.
Yeah, stay at 2. Watch those the wrist. It's a lot about feel, casting is.
And then Rosie had the first real catch of the day.
See him? It's a little one, but I got him. Tiny fish, there he is. Looks like a very small rainbow, little baby.
We weren't planning on keeping any of the fish we caught, and let's be honest, This one and all the others were super small anyway. Shortly after, by some small miracle, I too caught my first fish of the day.
Not bad.
Attaboy.
After that, our fish catching momentum was in full swing.
A little smoky.
We periodically moved downriver and tried our luck at different spots.
I try to get in the river without stumbling into the river. I got a decent arm dunk. I'm the first to take a tumble.
Eventually, I got lucky again.
So that makes 2 for Rosie, 2 for me. Loving it.
I got a small little guy here that came with his own furniture. Look at that. Come on, bud. That's a boy. All right, now I gotta clean off this.
After Rosie caught her third fish, we decided to grab some lunch and debrief back at camp.
How'd I do?
Casting is not something you pick up in 10 minutes. You had some pretty good arm movement. You obviously have cast line before because I could see you feeling when it wasn't. The first step is knowing when you're not doing it that great, right? So like sometimes when you went too far back, when you're really cocking your arm back, you get snagged out in the weeds, and it's also showing you that that's just way too much back cast.
If you had someone who wanted to get into fly fishing, but unlike me, didn't have a friend to kind of bring them out, show them what's up, what would you recommend that they do or get into?
Depending on where you are, really the best place to start is to go visit a local fly shop, take a casting class, and have them show you how to cast, because fly casting is completely different than bait fish casting, and so it's something that you need to have at least a little bit of skill with to get any sort of success. So
Rosie was the best instructor I could have asked for, and I know I still have a lot to learn. You might even say that when it comes to fly fishing, I'm still a fish out of water.